Hey guys, what's up? So I think this is episode 5. The second in the week, which is really weird for me, but today I'm going to do a shout out video because apart from my patterns and needle minders, I do outsource, and some people have asked me, hey, where do you get the cool stuff? So let's talk about it. So I want to talk about needles. Now, I am a brutal stitcher. I watched Carla's Floss Tube number, I think it was 8, and she talked about how she was a gentle stitcher. I am not. I'm an angry stitcher. I have a lot of pent-up anger, maybe, I don't know. But I think it's because I do go really quick as well, so I tend to have a lot less tolerance for my needles. So I use John James tapestry needles and no other brand. I have tried, they have all failed. I even went to give the Chinese ones a crack. No. So, problems you can run into with needles is that the eye of them will snap, the ends are too sharp when they're not meant to be, and they will stab you. Now, you can't see it in the video, but I'm a finger chewer. I'm thinking, I chew. I'm stressed, I chew. So I have really thick ends of my fingers. I think I do have a sharp version here. And I won't do it on here because it will gross you out. But I could stick a needle through a fair chunk of my finger and I wouldn't feel it. It's weird. It's creepy. But I just have so much callus built up there. And I think coffee making too, because I do my milk by feel. So I'm used to heat and, I don't know, I brutalize my fingers. So, you know, like the end can be too sharp, and even for me, I was like, oh, mother... A lot of expletives. I'm trying to keep this PG. Yeah, PG. So, yeah, so the eye can snap off, the end can be too sharp. Other things I've had too is that, you know, when you're pulling your... I don't have an example threaded needle, but when you're pulling your floss through and it makes that weird and you're like, oh, and you look and it's kind of fluffed it and you're like, why? Oh, and you have a breakdown and you cry and you eat a lot of chocolate and some chippies and a coffee and maybe some vodka, and then you feel better that you've just brutalized your DMC. So that can happen. It can damage the Ada. Who would have thought? Needles. So I have those problems. So everyone's gone, okay, well, you put your needles through hell. And I go, yeah, John James. And I had a friend come round, hey Jules, and she came to stitch with me and she said, where do you get them from? Because I buy them in lots of 100. And I want to shout out today to Sassy to Stitch. And I will put a link in the description to where you can go. And she has been awesome. I recently had some issues with a batch and I emailed her. I said, oh, is it me or is it the needle? And straight away, no questions asked, she hooked me up and fixed up the problem. Really quick shipping, really great price, good product. So I highly recommend. Since I discovered Sassy to Stitch, and that's like Sassy #2 Stitch, I will shop nowhere else for my needles. No matter how desperate I am for a needle, I would rather wait for my Sassy to Stitch than go anywhere else. That's how good they are. So that's my needles. Highlighters. So I use lots of different brands of highlighters. But I mean, this one is a Sharpie. Sharpies aren't too shabby. Very heavy ink, so if you're worried about bleeding through paper, I wouldn't so much go a Sharpie. And then I have these cool little, they're mini Stablos. I call them a mini, but they're just a skinny version of the Stablo. And the point on them is perfect for going through my squares, my gridding. So I'm a huge fan. But the only downside to these is the ink doesn't last as long as a big highlighter. So... and I haven't worked out yet whether you can refill them or not. One would hope. It's something I'm going to look into because I hate waste. And then, so I've kitted up this guy. Octavius the time traveling ferret, because I really love ferrets. I never used to. We have 2 ferrets. They're my husband's pets. Imagine this really cute cuddly thing. No, they were pricks. They bit. Including my son's Willie. So be careful. If you dangle it, they're going to get it. So I have grown to love ferrets, and now I can't imagine life without them. So this Octavius one seemed perfect for me. And this is the fabric that's going with it. So someone has also asked me where my fabric comes from. And currently, over, I'd say at least the last 2 years, I have bought exclusively from Under the Sea Fabrics. She has been awesome as well. Hey Leslie. So this lovely lady, and she does all the fabric dyeing. She does a really cool fabric of the month too, which I did a heap of up until recently. Let me show you some others of hers. Where are they? Yeah, so this is the same one, just a smaller piece. So that one that I'm doing Octavius on is lapis, so like lapis lazuli, I think that's how you say it. This one is beach walk, it's a nice brown. This one is dreamsicle, and that's a really cool orange. So I love fabrics of the month. It's a bit like my needle minder of the month, and every month the fabric dyer will pick a particular colour, and that's what they do, and they'll dye them, and you get like this awesome surprise. So I was every month getting one, and I was pairing it with a pattern. So I have this heap of patterns now that have been paired to fabrics that will work really well, because not all my patterns are full coverage. So the ones that aren't, I love to go with a hand-dyed fabric. It really adds a personal touch to it too. So if you're looking for a really good fabric dyer, Under the Sea. As far as threads go, I myself now offer thread packs. But if you're looking for a really like massive amount of a colour, so say if you've heard of them, cones, and they are quite literally like a thread cone, and they've got hundreds of meters on them. I have one for 310, 3371, and some other really common colours that I have, because I just chew through that much of it. So I tell people who are looking for big quantities, go to somewhere like 123stitch.com, and even globally their postage is really reasonable. They do work with US dollars, so heads up for that, but they have been really good. So I had someone who was like, but why would you recommend 123 Stitch when you do your own thread packs? And that's because I believe in doing what's best for the customer. It's all about what's going to be most cost effective for you guys. And if you're looking for massive amounts of a particular colour, you are way better off going and buying it in bulk. So my thread packs are designed for people who have trouble getting a hold of floss, or can't have massive amounts of floss on hand like I do. So people like, in particular my friend Carla, she's going to do a lot of travelling. So I think for people like Carla, having a thread pack would be better. You have very low wastage, it's there, it's kitted, it's ready to go. It's a convenience thing too. So if you want to save yourself the trouble from figuring out what you need and getting it all in, and having to go to half a dozen stores just to get enough floss and have it all together, this takes all the hassle out of it. And all my thread packs have tracking, the price is inclusive of the shipping, so it's all in one neat little package. So if that's something you're keen for, I can kit up, well I say kit up, but I'll say thread pack. I can thread pack up just about anything. So in cases where you want to thread pack something that's not my design, all I need from you are the measurements for what you need. So I'll give you a form and you just put in 310, 4 meters, or if you're more comfortable working in inches or skeins, that's okay too. But just keep in mind that I will convert it from skeins to meters, so there may be some discrepancy there in how much you get because of the conversions. But aside from that, yeah, so that's why I do them. and I don't personally use them currently because I have so much floss. I really need to eat through my stash. Like, let me show you. I'll take the phone and I'll show you. Can you see that? So that is where I store all the flosses that I'm not currently using. These things, put my hand there for comparison. Look how massive they are. So I have a lot of floss that I need to get through, and it's a bit like fabric. I have a lot of fabric too. So that's my shout outs to businesses. I hope that's helped you to figure out a few things and where to look for products and answered a few questions. I love questions. So if you have them, don't hesitate to ask. If you're a bit shy about asking on here on YouTube, you can find me on Facebook, Etsy, Instagram. Have I missed any? DeviantArt. They're the 4 main ones that I frequent. I do link my Instagram with, I think, one other that I've forgotten what it's called, but I don't check that ever. It's just purely there to share what I'm working on at the moment. So I hope that's been helpful. Do keep asking questions. I do hope eventually to have enough questions to do a Q&A in each floss tube. And I'm also going to link in to Carla's floss tube because she does like these really cool stashes and she just has so much to talk about. She's based in Alaska, or currently, because she has a lot of traveling to do. So she's mainly in Alaska, I think it is. And she's going to do all these floss tubes. So if you're based around there, she can send you to all these really cool places to find things. Australia, in particular Perth, is really limited for cross stitch, so we rely heavily online. And for us, I think the culture is online business because it enables mums to work from home. Like myself, proof in the pudding, I'm a mum that works from home. Rent here can be really expensive for a business, and you know, Perth's very spread out, so an online business works best. But I do hope to do maybe a market or two, and ultimately, eventually, even have an unconventional cross-stitch con where everybody comes together and stitches. And I'd love to do a tour of America. I have so many customers in America, and I've always wanted to go, so I think a tour of America would be really cool, and it would be an opportunity to meet some of my customers because a lot of you are regulars, so you buy on a monthly basis. So it would be really cool to meet some of you guys and get to know another place, and I even say another culture, because the way America works is totally different to Australia. Even like your Cokes are massive from what I've seen on TV. Like your supersized Coke is like, 2 liters of Coke, and I'm like, I couldn't get through 2 liters, but I would buy one just so I can be like, selfie! Hashtag! So yeah, anyway, so I would love to do a tour one day. I hope this movie has been useful and I haven't dragged on too long because I'm up to 13 minutes. So I'm going to cut it off there, and you guys have a rad rest of the weekend, and I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya!